Hoka just went pro. This is the Hoka Clifton Pro, thought of as the next step up from Hoka's Clifton 11. One of the main changes that Hoka made is this new supercritical EVA foam, which is thought to be a little bit more responsive than the typical EVA foam used in the Clifton 11. Another thing that I noticed and really liked about the Clifton Pro is how breathable the upper is. It has this engineered mesh as well as a padded, fully gusseted tongue. The lacing system, which is something that I always love about Hoka, seems pretty solid, pretty intact. Coming in at around 10.5 ounces for men and 8.5 ounces for women, it is slightly heavier than the Clifton 11. 16 grams is pretty minimal, but I think this might have to do with the extra outsole grip that they've added, which extends into the midsole as well. So this is actually probably going to be a lot more durable than the Clifton 10, Clifton 11, all of the Cliftons in the past. The Clifton Pro is available in standard widths only for now and retails about $10 more than the Clifton 11 for all these premium features at $165 USD. So step and feel, I do feel like I'm kind of standing on a platform. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of. I'm like somebody that likes to feel the ground a little bit more, but they do definitely feel firmer than the Cliftons that I've tried in the past. I'm going to compare them to the Clifton 11s today and just kind of test them out and see how I feel about each of them and whether or not this is actually in fact a pro shoe and worth the extra 10 bucks. I actually really like these. I was fully expecting them to feel super bulky, but I don't know, they don't feel like too much on my feet. I do feel like I can feel the ground more than I expected, which I do appreciate. And they are definitely very responsive, but compared to some of the other like super trainers that I've tried, I don't feel like I'm having too much of an issue with like my turnover, my cadence. So they're definitely more shoe than the Cliftons that I've tried in the past. However, I don't feel like I'm like sinking into a mattress. I don't feel like I'm also like running in a mock where it's like as poppy. It feels like a good kind of like combination of the mock and the Clifton. But let's see how they compare to the Clifton 11. The first thing I noticed is they feel a lot lighter than the Clifton Pros. There's also a little bit less shoe. I don't feel like I have so much bulk going on. And I can feel the ground a little bit more. Also, they do feel a lot softer. Definitely not as responsive. Like, I definitely feel like I'm hitting the ground. There's no pop off in the same way that I noticed with the Clifton Pros. I'm definitely also noticing though, I do feel more locked in these shoes. They feel more streamlined to my body, like more of a sock, you know, but not as performance oriented. So I see where the Pro's coming from. Compared to the Pro, this is more suited for just every day. If you're somebody that doesn't mind feeling the ground, if you're not looking for a shoe that's really gonna give back to you too much, you just want your feet to be supported, you wanna feel pretty good while you're running, this is gonna be the shoe for you. Also, if you were a fan of the 10, they're pretty comparable. The Clifton Pro, I feel like it would be great if you're going on longer runs, if you're trying to pick up the pace a little bit, or if you find the foam on the 11 a little bit muted, the Pro is gonna be a great option. In terms of cushion, I would put the Hoka Clifton Pro at a 3.5 out of 5. It's not super plush, but it's also not like you're hitting the ground. And the cushion I do like because it is relatively responsive. And on the responsiveness note, I would put that at a 4 out of 5 because I do definitely feel like it is a good couple steps up actually from the Clifton 11. And I do feel like there is definitely a good toe off, a good bounce, a decent amount of rocker in the Clifton Pro. In terms of design, I think the shoe definitely is more like runner centric than the Clifton 11, which is more versatile for like if you're working in healthcare, if you're on your feet all day. The Clifton Pro, if you're wearing the Clifton Pro, you're probably gonna be running in it. But it looks pretty sleek, it looks pretty cool, and the colorways are really, really nice. And then In terms of value, I would put it at a 3 just because you can get much more responsive or much more cushioned shoes at much lower price points. Like we've got the Evo SL if you're looking for something super responsive and fun to train in. You've got the Nova Blast if you're looking for a good amount of cushion and responsiveness. So there are definitely less expensive options on the market. But if you are a big Clifton fan or if you are a big Hoka fan, you will probably like the Clifton Pro. Overall, my rating for the Hoka Clifton Pro is going to be a 3.5 out of 5.